Well, if it seems to you like the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, it must be true. Even though it's May 5th, 2000, we're at the Crete Center for another senior celebration. Kathleen Hazel, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you. It's nice to see anybody when you get my age, you know.
We have lots of lovely seniors here today, and they're all going to have such a wonderful time. This is our 7th annual event. And we just have such a wonderful time planning it and putting it on. It's just a wonderful experience.
Every year it's a different theme, and
Yes.
it's the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer that always reminds me of that great old song by Nat King Cole.
Oh, yeah.
You want to sing a verse or two?
Oh, I just heard it.
Did you?
They were playing it in the background. But it really brings back a lot of memories to people. I've already had them mention that,
Nance,
so
get
that's
over here.
really great. Here's
Hi,
Nancy.
hiya, Nancy Maynard.
Hi
How are
there,
you?
Gordy. Great. How are you today?
This is the mother of the famous son.
Right.
She's pretty
Magician.
darn famous herself, you know.
Yeah.
You told me Perry's coming back in June.
June 14th, he'll be flying in. He'll be here to June 26th.
Good. Maybe he can make this belly disappear for my birthday the next day. And then again, maybe not. I know it's a lot of hard work. We have a great time today, and a lot of things are planned, but I know a lot of hard work goes into this. Give us a little clue about some of the planning.
Well, actually, we have a great plan in place. We have written it all out, and we start in August every year, and then we have a theme, and we start developing the plan for the whole year. And it's a 9-month process, and we're on our 7th child.
Seventh baby. It takes 9 months for a child. We're having our 7th baby.
So, and we feel very good about the committee because we work very hard. Each person has separate talents, and combined, it makes a great event because each one of us brings something different to the table, and we work so well together, and we have a wonderful time. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
You guys go up on the ladder and put the kites up
Equipment in. They get up on the catwalk up there, and they do all the hard work for us. So we're very, very fortunate. We celebrate it very much.
I saw the picture in the paper and I said, oh, this every year seems to get bigger and better.
Yes, it does. It really does. And this year we have 166 kites. Handmade, and then some of them were purchased. And as Nancy said, Bell Atlantic came in with a crew and hydraulic lift, and they got them all up. That has made it a lot easier for us, I'll tell you. And then Jan Dean is our artist. You've noticed all the different creations here. She has constructed them and painted them and cut them all out and assembled them, and they're just so incredibly beautiful. Like our lighthouse, for instance, over there. Isn't that amazing?
I love it.
I know.
Everything is
Our little
just
light in
beautiful. Turn around. Did you get a look at the lighthouse behind you, Calvin?
I don't know.
I apologize for just a moment. Our microphones went dead. We are taking a look at this beautiful lighthouse right near the entrance to the Crete Center. So many things have happened at the Crete Center, and this large building has been the subject of a lot of controversy down through the years, but I'll tell you, I have spent some wonderful moments here. And we're back again for the 7th annual senior celebration. We were talking about that lighthouse.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, we found it in a catalog, and Jan Dean said, no problem, I can draw one up and I can cut it out, and she painted it, and she got it all to look just as beautiful as it can be. You'd think that we had gone out and purchased it. She did a beautiful job.
What a clever person
Isn't she?
is, huh?
She's very talented. She did our Statue of Liberty last year, if you remember. That beautiful statue we had. Every year she comes up with something. And look to the left here, we have Champy. Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh my
Champy,
goodness.
right? Jan did that
Against the
also,
wall.
right? We have Champy, and the sandcastle over here, she also did this.
So it just
Makes
makes
me want to go to the beach.
That's right. And then we have our balloon cart over here. And we have the flowers and the lovely balloons. We try to think of everything about summer that you would love and enjoy, and we brought it here to the Crate for the day. We have a beautiful Bon Appetit sign over here with all of our popcorn, and then we have ice cream today, and we have so many wonderful things for people to enjoy.
You know, we have such an energetic effervescent, lively group of seniors here in the North Country. You know that I've supported them throughout my entire radio career, now helping Calvin, and I even spent an hour giving a presentation to the Clinton County Probation Department the other day about elder abuse. I've learned a great deal about it because there are victims among the elderly population as well. But we have a wonderful group of seniors, RSVP, and thousands of volunteer hours giving back to their community. So isn't it nice to be able to celebrate the seniors in a day like today?
Yes, it is. It's wonderful. Every year this gets bigger and better, and it's wonderful for them to get out, to meet with their old friends that they haven't seen perhaps since last year, and oftentimes that's the case because we live in a rural area and not all these seniors live like we do in the city, one next door to the other, you know, so it's great for them to come out and see their old folks, their old friends. It's just a great day to celebrate.
Kathleen, are we busing them in from the hinterlands today?
We have people that are actually coming from the Watertown area.
Come on.
Yes, I'm really serious. Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, all over. Yes, Schroon Lake, Vermont. Usually Canada. We have a few folks that come down from Canada, and it just makes a wonderful day to celebrate. It's a good opportunity for people to see the different businesses in town that do business with our senior citizens, people that also have agencies that have lots of programs and services that seniors can definitely use. And so it gives them a chance to do a little business, it gives them a chance to socialize, and it gives them a chance to have some entertainment. The entertainment today is fabulous. And we will top it off this evening with the Stockwell Brothers and the Green Mountain Banjos. And they're more than banjos, that's for sure. So, and there's so much more. You know, there's just the Sweet Adelines will be here today, and Smokey Rabidoo, and the YMCA Recycled Teenagers will dance for us. So it's going to be a great day.
We're starting off here just after 9 o'clock in the morning, Nancy, and as Kathleen mentioned, there are booths all the way around here so people can have a lot of fun, and younger people are welcome to stop by and just see how seniors like to have fun, aren't they?
Definitely, and this is for the young and the old. The young can come and see just what this is all about, what's out there for them, and how to help their parents, their relatives, their friends as they age. It's just a great gathering of everyone.
That's absolutely fantastic. Great to have you here. Mayor Dan, how are you today, sir?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Your smiling face. You're not a senior yet, but it's fun to watch seniors having fun, isn't it?
Well, I'm turning 38 this year, so
Wow.
I'm getting up there.
Don't we wish, Kathleen?
Well, we're seniors in training, that's what I say. And we can all learn, and it's nice to have intergenerational activities going on. So we certainly invite everybody to come down, that's for sure.
We were just talking about what a wonderful group our seniors are in Clinton County. We like to pamper them because they're very special.
Well, also the fastest rising population is seniors in this country, and the baby boomers that are going to be hopping over into senior status in the coming years. So this parking lot's about half full right now. Within 10 years, it's going to be totally full. So time will tell what happens with this. You know.
I don't know if you have mixed feelings when you come inside this Crete Center or not. You and I have talked about the Crete Center so many times, and as I just said, despite the fact that it has been the subject of controversy, every year about this time, we make the rafters sing here.
Yeah, well, you know, and I have had a lot to say on the Crete Center, but one thing to remember is also if this thing did shut down, or if we did lease it out or went to something else, where will these events be held in this community? And that's an important thing to consider as we go along with the recreational committee and whatever the future of this building is going to be, is you won't have home shows, senior celebrations, or anything like that, because then the field house is the only other place that could handle it, and you have to talk about scheduling into their facility. So the community and myself especially, no matter what my own personal desires are for this building, I have to remember that this is also a community center, and we have to make sure that there is something available for the community to use. This building loses tens of thousands of dollars every year in its operation, but then again, it fulfills a need on the other side, and as long as we can start to utilize it better, and that's why we've recently changed how we rent the facility, $45 an hour for nonprofits, $90 an hour for profits, to get more activity out here. If we can get enough activity out here and get people used to coming out here, we can keep the place and actually make it work. work. So it's a toss-up where it's going to go, but it's here for at least another couple of years.
Let's hope for a lot of bright sunshine so people will be around this beach area this summer. Let's hope for a little sand out there if the lake ever goes down.
Yeah, the water level's just a little bit too high. You know, all the Canadians are at the border. You know, they're just waiting to come across to come down and do their regular. You know, and it's pretty interesting when the Canadians are on the beach. I don't think anybody's going to deny that. So.
Dan, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you, Gordy.
Mayor Dan Stewart from the city of Plattsburgh. Let's talk a little bit, ladies, about some of the things that you have planned for the seniors here today. This program won't be aired before the celebration is all finished, I'm sure, but let's know what's on the schedule today.
Well, first of all, we have an opening ceremony that will be held at 10 a.m. and this will
would be about 40 minutes from now.
And our elected officials will be here on stage, and there will be recognition of our 90 and over, and our 90 and over population continues to grow every year, which is just wonderful. And also we will be having awards for the AARP tax volunteers. That's going to be just before opening ceremony because they do so much in our county. I don't think people even realize they do preparing taxes for people that cannot afford to go and have their taxes prepared. And they did, I can't even tell you how many, hundreds and hundreds of taxes this year. And then also we will be honoring George Braid, who is the head tax volunteer for AARP, and he has also been selected as the Homer West recipient this year.
Really?
So
Wonderful.
he is going to be here hopefully this morning. He said he would, so that we can present him with his award. And then after that we have Smokey Rabideau and his RSVP band. We will also have summer music all throughout the day. The Sweet Adelines are coming on at, I believe, 1 or 1:15. The Beatmantown High School Chorus will be here. As I mentioned before, RSVP will, the YMCA Recycled Teenagers will be dancing. And we have our Family Connections contest, which is a great intergenerational contest that we hold every year. And then we have the Stockwell Brothers, the Green Mountain Banjos, and the music will go on till 7 o'clock tonight.
What a great thing it is to set this all up and then to watch it unfold, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Kathleen, we have to give her a tribute. She sets the center stage. So our tributes go to Kathleen. She's worked very hard to get all these wonderful people here, all the entertainment, and she's done this quite a few years in a row. So many thanks to Kathleen for that.
You could never do it without all kinds of support. The media are always very kind to you. I know Calvin and I thoroughly enjoy being here every year. I wouldn't miss it for anything. Lots of the VIPs in the community arrive. As you said, the politicians all show up. I just saw District Attorney Penny Clute walk in the door to have a look around. And I mentioned her name in connection with a presentation I made to the probation department the other day because her mother was the subject of a telemarketing scam and got ripped off for a lot of money. And Penny really has been on the bandwagon, on the soapbox on behalf of elder abuse and senior citizens and telemarketing scams and so on. I find more and more of that. So everybody works together on behalf of young and old, and I like your idea of bringing the young people here along with the seniors. That intergenerational thing is really important, isn't it?
Yes, it is extremely important, and it shows what we can do within our community. It really is a tribute to both the young and the old.
Every year I gain more respect for seniors and elders ever since I joined that population. And I very often interview people on the telephone because of the little column I write in the newspaper. And if I'm looking for the origin of Michigan sauce or something else, someone always is there. A little 92-year-old lady will call me up and say, I lived here almost 93 years. I guess I know what's going on in Plattsburgh.
That's cute.
And they give wonderful stories. And if all the young people would start to appreciate the great knowledge that the seniors have amassed and send the young kids, that adopt a grandparent program that the kids in school have, and have a little more respect for the seniors, then the world would be a better place. And I think that's exactly what you're doing here today.
Oh, it certainly is. And we do have a lot of wonderful young people in our community. And I think if we all work together in teamwork, we can accomplish a lot more. And I think that's the point, like Nancy was saying. If we all work, just the committee alone, working on this one event, it's because we respect each other and we respect what our talents are, and everybody shares in the work. And I find that in the community as well. Once you open that up and you invite people to share in all the experiences, it's a win-win situation for everybody, for sure.
You know, I say this all the time because I love to promote this area. Not only is it a beautiful place, but we have so many tremendous organizations, such as your two organizations, you know, the Senior Citizens Council and the Office for the Aging, and so many other groups that work together on behalf of all of the citizens, not just the seniors, but all of the citizens. And in many ways, here in Clinton County, we may be the last frontier next to Canada for people downstate, but I think we've got a lot going for us, and I really believe that the rest of the world should take a good long look at Clinton County to see how we do things, because we do a lot of things right, and we might as well blow our own horn once in a while.
I'd like to say the portion of the funding that comes to our agency is distributed among the recipients of the ISIP program. That's the Expanded In-Home Service Program. This is for the elderly, where someone will go in and take care of them when they've exhausted other means. And believe me, if you look at our brochure, you'll see the good that comes out of that program alone. So the funding that we achieve from this event goes back into our programs and helps to promote and increase our programs. And we couldn't do it without this, believe me. It really, it's a give-give situation and a win-win situation. Everybody wins.
Let's talk a little bit about how some of our seniors who might not be able to make it here today, and what a shame that is, can get in touch with your organization, for example.
Well, our phone number is 563-6180, and the Office for Aging's telephone number is 565-4620. And those two numbers will connect you with any of the resources here in our community, because we are embellished in this community with lots of wonderful services and programs, not only for our older people, but for our younger people and our families. And any of those offices, either one, will be able to contact you or connect you with the right people that you need to help you.
I want our viewers, no matter how old they are, around the North Country and wherever else they might be viewing this, to know that there are a lot of people and organizations working for them behind the scenes that they may not even be aware of. Until we need a service, sometimes we don't know it exists. And I might put in a little plug for my own office, which is the Victim Services Center in the Probation Department. And even though I spent a lot of time working with and for seniors in the North Country, now I work with all kinds of victims of crime. And seniors are victims of crime, as we've just mentioned. And our staff works very hard for those victims. So if anybody out there might know of somebody who's a victim of elder abuse in one of its many forms, and there are 7 different ways elders can be abused: psychological problems to financial exploitation to neglect and self-neglect and abandonment, call our office at 565-4648. And if we can help you, and we are going to try darn hard to do that, we'll refer you to another organization. And it's nice to know that we all hold hands and join together to help people, isn't it?
That's right. I agree with you 100%. And think of the dear friends that we have made over the years, and associates and things that happen. It just makes it so wonderful, because we all know how sincere people are and caring about taking care of the people in our county.
How many people do you think we're going to jam into this place today, Nancy Maynard?
I hope we exceed 3,000. Believe me, I'd say it's about 1/3 full right now. If you look out in the parking lot, I'm sure the parking lot is filling. Although the skies look a little cloudy, that doesn't mean there isn't going to be a good day inside. And I'm sure it's going to clear over by the end of the day. In the afternoon, around 5 o'clock, we're going to have this wonderful barbecue put on by Hannaford. And this is going to be on the outside right here. So the grills will be going, hamburgers and hot dogs will be served with a complete barbecue to go. The beans, the salads, everything you can possibly imagine. So believe me, rain or shine, we're going to have a good day.
It's always a good day when the seniors get together and when people come down here to the Crete Center. And I know this year will be no exception. Quite a few awards will be given throughout the day, too, I understand.
Yes, we have several awards. And the Family Connections Contest, there will be an award ceremony. We also have a special thank you award that we'll be giving to Brian Bisnett, which he doesn't know about yet.
I won't tell him.
We have been, hi Bill. we have been trying so hard to thank him because his crew is so wonderful to us. And again, there's the teamwork. And so we wanted to recognize Brian and the Civic Center and the employees here for everything they've done for us. And then also AARP will be receiving an award, as I mentioned. And as a matter of fact, I think it's almost time for that, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Oh, well, let's go for it then.
Go for it.
We're going to enjoy our entire day. Thank you so much
very
for
much.
allowing us to come here again.
Thank you, Gordy.
It's a privilege
Thank
to
you,
talk with you.
Thank you.
Calvin.
Once again, we're part of the 7th annual senior celebration at the Crete Center in Plattsburgh, New York on the 5th day of May 2000, just having a marvelous time, getting ready about 10 minutes before the formal opening ceremonies. Here's a guy who's been at so many ceremonies over the years, I can't count the number of times we've heard him sing. Court Wood, how are you?
Very fine, Bert. I really, really love it.
Have you ever thought about how many times you've sung the national anthems of the
No, I
United
haven't.
States and Canada?
But no, I haven't. But sometimes I get nervous, wake up in the middle of the night and forget the words. But I haven't, thank God, missed them in public. I enjoy doing it. I feel it was a talent given to me, and I've shared it from, as you say, Canada and all over, wherever they have me in the United States.
You and your illustrious brother have been at so many functions
That's right.
over the years, but it's great to be able to give a little something back to the community in the area that's done something for you. I know that's the way you feel.
I do, Gordy. Yes, sir. I really appreciate it and like to share it. And thank God that we were given the talent that we can share. We don't hide it. We want to let people know and appreciate that it's given to them, and I hope they enjoy it.
Today we're celebrating seniors, and we have a lively group, don't we?
We have a great group. It's a wonderful crowd, and actually I'm a senior now. I'm starting to get that Social Security, but thank God Clinton gave me a little raise, so it's going to work.
I just signed up a few weeks ago myself.
Good
Now
morning.
that I'm a part of the population, I got to crank it up a notch on behalf of these
There you
seniors.
go. All right, you've got it. Well, they've got a lot of energy, and they do some dancing and playing, and they really have a good time.
They're an inspiration for all of us, and
They
that's for
certainly
sure.
are. Certainly are.
Can you remember the first time you ever sang in public?
Yes, I can.
Tell me
and
about it. I knew there'd be a story.
And it was at Hawkins Hall where I went and saw the First Lady yesterday give her talk. And that was at the stage on Hawkins Hall Guilds Auditorium.
Oh,
At
my.
4th grade, I sang the French national anthem,
Did you really?
which is, let's see. You sons of France, march on to glory. I sang it in English, but now I can do these things in French, the real thing. So, yeah,
4th grade?
4th grade was my first solo in Hawkins Hall Guilds Auditorium.
Was everybody in the family musical?
Yes, mother was the founder and played the piano, organ, and sang. Then I came along, we'd have duets. Ronnie came along, we'd have trios. My sister came along, we'd have quartets. And so we could have solos, duets, or quartets, or trios.
So
It's
you
great.
never get tired of it, do you?
No, I'll keep singing. I'd rather sing than work. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
It's really great, and you've made a tremendous contribution by doing it. Cortland, thanks for
Thank
stopping
you
by
very
today.
much. Appreciate it.
Have a
Gordon.
wonderful day.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
That's Cortland Wood from the Wood family.
Gordy.
How are you?
Fine. People are going to talk about us now.
They always have, so why not? This is Gladys Perry, a good friend of mine and a good friend of the North Countries for at least 120 years.
At least.
We
At
almost qualify to be senior citizens, right?
least. Well, that all depends on who you're talking to. You know, Calvin isn't a senior yet.
No.
So, but he's working toward it. So,
Yeah, the more he slows down, the more he'll join us in our category.
isn't it a wonderful occasion to have all these people meet today? I have a special presentation. Hopefully, my lady will be here. She's going to be 100. She was 107 in February.
Come on.
And she's Mary Kavanaugh, and she lives at Evergreen Nursing Home, and she lives in my area, and I have a presentation for her. So I know she won't see this before.
I wonder if she's our oldest citizen in Clinton
I
County.
believe she is.
107?
107. And you know, you and I will never see that. She was a nurse. She was a nurse for 40 years.
Was she really?
Yes, she was. She's a fantastic lady. Fantastic.
Isn't that terrific? We have so many great seniors. You have quite a few in your end of town. Maybe the air's good up there.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. We keep them too. We don't like to part with them. You know, when they cross that Perry Bridge, we keep them forever in our area.
You know, Calvin and I were talking with a young man by the name of Ron Venn, who lives at 72 Bailey Avenue. We've done a series of 8 television programs with him because he's done so many interesting things. Among the things he does is find old photographs, find out where they were taken, then he goes there and stands in that spot and takes a photograph of what it looks like today. So we got to see the old bridge, and we were talking about your late husband and the wonderful Perry Bridge and the day it was dedicated. What a day that was. Wasn't that neat?
That was fantastic. And the best part about the whole thing is he was aware before he passed away, and about 8 hours later he was gone after he knew that.
Funny that you would say that, because today, this month is his anniversary month.
Is it really?
7 years, the 28th of this month.
Come on,
And
7 years?
7 years,
Oh.
but it doesn't seem like it though, because he's always in our hearts. And I did see that segmentation that you did put on, was on because my daughter, my granddaughter, and myself were watching, and they said, well, they're going to mention Dick and Gladys Perry. And they know I got it out of their mouth, and there you are. Good old rescue hose, the good old days, Isidore and Defiant. And we serve on
Last call for Linda Kahn, he's worth $25. Linda Kahn.
It's wonderful group of people.
Please report to
Izzy all the time. He's an amazing guy. Talk about coming back. We lost him about 15 times, and then the next time I look, and he's walking back in the mall again. He's an amazing guy.
Yes, he is. Well, I believe he has a birthday either today or tomorrow.
Oh, really?
And I think he's going to have a 1 added to the 8. So I think that's fantastic. And of course, Izzy lives in my area too. He lives at the Russell Barnard apartment. Yes, I visit them quite often. Every one of those people over there are just fantastic people. They make you feel like you're at home.
I always feel like I'm at home when I go up in that end of town. And Gladys is referring to Rescue Hose, the old Rescue Hose, up on South Platt Street, where we began counting money. I don't know what year that was.
Back in 1972.
Gate number 3 for 50/50 is now being
Back in
sold.
72.
Price will be $25 in cash. A $20 gift certificate from Mancha, compliments of WOPO, and pizza and soda. Donate
I don't know what happened to those good old days, but I'd like to go back and try it one more time before I leave this cool world.
Gladys was very much involved in the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and back in those days I had a grandson who was dying of and eventually died of the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and the Defiant family had a couple of people died, right? Their son?
Well, they had a son that had it, and they have other relatives, but Izzy's wife was an invalid, and he had a daughter. He has a daughter, Nancy, who is wonderful. She's in independent living now, and I see her once a month when I do my co-op with JCEO. She comes over and she volunteers her time. That's a Defiant. That's a true Defiant. They're still donating all their precious time.
Well, Gladys is referring to the old days of the street drives in Plattsburgh. I was a part of the Walk America for the March of Dimes last weekend, and I recall the original March of Dimes.
Yes.
Mile of Dimes.
Sitting in the back seat of the car, a wiry car, and counting this precious money. And I can't remember how close we got to Wiry, but we started down at the end of Cornelia Street, and then we went west, and I think we almost made it to your front door in Wiry.
We did have a lot of fun with the street drives. Now, those organizations, most of them don't have local offices here anymore. Well, we still have an occasional fundraiser.
But they do still take care of their people. And I'm very proud of that. I had a young girl that lived in my area, and she moved to Tupper Lake. And I detected something, probably a couple of years, and I kept watching her progressing. And I happened to mention it to her mother after she had her first child. And they are still doing something today for their people. And I'm glad that I don't have to work for them anymore, because that was very hard work. And they give back 100% to their patients. And let's hope someday that they will have a job that when anybody can go on a weekend and raise millions of dollars in charity business, I think if we can fly a man to the moon, we can find out what's going on out there with health. And we need that today.
I don't know what there is about the air here in the North Country, but it must be pretty healthy. If we got a lady who's 107 and we find out that there are more and more people starting to reach 100. How many people do you know who are over 90 years old? I think we're doing something right.
Well, we will have a lot of people here today that's over 90 years old. So probably you should keep your eyes and ears open and watch in the middle, and you'll be able to see how many we had, 80, 90, and 100. And gosh, I hope I make half of that.
I love it. Gladys, thanks so much for all your work for the people of the North Country and your work on the Clinton County Legislature. It's got to be a good feeling at the end of the day.
It's a wonderful feeling, Jordan. My whole life has been dedicated to people, and regardless of where I am and what I'm doing, I'll always be a volunteer out there for them. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Gladys. You too. Bye-bye. It's the Senior Celebration 2000 on the 5th day of May at the Crete Center in Plattsburgh, a wonderful occasion where we hope 3,000 seniors in the North Country will get together to celebrate life after the age of 60. A wonderful group of people are gathered here. There are kites all through the building. The theme is the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. And I think we've set the stage for you. And speaking of the stage, in the distance behind me, you'll see the center stage. The regular formal program will begin momentarily, where dignitaries in the North Country will be introduced, and the scene will be set for the remainder of the activities for this day. We're recording this now at 7 minutes after 10 in the morning. A number of events will take place throughout the day. We'll show you some of the highlights of the opening ceremonies and invite you to support all the groups that support senior citizens here in the North Country. It's a pleasure always to be here with people young and old. Hey, Sam the man. There he is, Mr. Trombley. So a lot of VIPs are here, and as far as we're concerned, all these seniors are very important people too. Enjoy the Senior Celebration 2000.
As I have been since the very first senior celebration in 1994. We have much to share with you because it is for you. This celebration is taking place and has grown in an astonishing way. I think in 1994 there were certainly far less tables, far less people, probably 3 figures, but we're excited that you are here and excited to present this celebration for you. I myself now feel very much a part of you. If I may add a personal statement, this past Tuesday, the 2nd of May, I celebrated my 65th birthday. So as the fellow says, without further ado, whoever that was, we will now introduce, singing our national anthem, Mr. Cortland Wood.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My pleasure again to welcome, sharing with us our invocation for today, representing, as he always has so splendidly, so magnificently, the Community Church of Peru, I present the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Parker.
God has given to us, and to not take for granted the gifts of friendship, of family, of love, of community, and of country. Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for the goodness of each day and your presence with us, and for the power of your Spirit that strengthens us and gives us foundation for life. We give you thanks for all who have made this celebration possible, and the richness of this community that is always brought forward by your never-ending love for us. Keep us mindful of your presence, no matter where we are or where we walk. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Parker. Perhaps you do know, but it's worth repeating, that the sponsoring agencies for this wonderful celebration are the Senior Citizens Council, of course, and the Clinton County Council for the Aging, Office for the Aging, excuse me. And the next person I'm about to introduce is a lady without whom much of this would never have been accomplished. She is the director of the Office for the Aging. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Catherine Felty.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not quite tall enough to cope with the podium and the microphone, so I have been given my own equipment. I feel very grateful. I want to welcome all of you here today. It's a great thrill to come to this setting and to see so many folks, and I know by noontime probably there won't be a seat vacant in this entire room. You are the folks who motivate us to do this wonderful event each year. I want to mention, I'd like to call the Senior Celebration Committee to come forward so that I can introduce them to you. I've just been given credit for making this day possible, but these are the folks who really deserve the credit for making this day possible. This is Nancy Maynard, who is an Aging Services Specialist for the Office for Aging. Jan Dean, who is the Director of the Congregate Meal Program for the Nutrition Program for the Elderly. Kathleen Hazel, the Executive Director of the Senior Citizens Council. Betty Rabideau, who is the Program Director for the Senior Center, and Tammy Kemp, who is the Meals on Wheels Program Director. These 5 women conceived of this idea 7 years ago and offered the first celebration. They've been doing it ever since. It's their party, and thank you very much. I'd like to mention especially that very honored guests who are with us today are the group of people who are 90 years and older. And each year we're thrilled to have a very substantial group of people here from that age group. Thank you for joining us. Another group that I would like to recognize and say thank you to are the county officials, state, town officials, city officials who are on the stage, who helped to make this a very special event. And they're here because they're interested in you. And last but not least, we have a group of county agency directors with us today, and another group of people who are from agencies manning booths around this room. They and their staff are here. They want to speak with all of you. They're here to give you information about what they can do, and they're very committed to being with us every year for this day-long event. Please take the opportunity to speak with them, to get acquainted. You'll find it very worth your while. Thank you again.
hope someday to be in that august group of 90-year-olds. Congratulations again, and best wishes to you all. I'd like to begin our introductions by introducing guests seated on the stage. At this present time, I will not be introducing our speakers, who will be introduced shortly. And I ask you, in the interest of brevity, to hold your applause until all of the introductions have been completed. Samuel Trombley, Area 2, Legislator Area 2. Joseph Giroux, Legislator Area 3. Stephen Bouyer, Legislator Area 4. Keith Defiant, Legislator Area 5. James Langley, Legislator Area 7. Gladys Perry, Legislator Area 8. George Rabideau, Legislator Area 9. And of course, Mr. William Bingle, our County Administrator. Now you may applaud. It is my pleasure to introduce the honored guests on our stage, who are seated in front of our stage. Would you please stand if your name is announced, and if you're not here, please don't stand. In the interest of time, George Rivers, Mayor of Rouse's Point. Harold Ormsby, Supervisor, Town of Schuyler Falls. Penny Clute, District Attorney, and she must leave because she has a court-appointed date, so my dear, you are excused. I've been waiting to say that all morning. Also, John Lawless, our Sheriff. Thank you, Jack. Eileen Mannix, Public Health Director. Addie Shields, County Historian. Judy Leahy, Board of Elections Commissioner. I'm surprised she's not here. She's my next door neighbor. She gets up earlier than I do. James King, Director of Emergency Services. Brian Rudy, County Nursing Home Administrator. Alan Gibson, County Personnel Director. William Manor, Veterans Agency Director. I think Bill is at the booth over there. Thank you all for your attendance. Other outstanding directors and staffs of service groups are here today. They are, as Catherine Felty suggested, all around at the edge of our facility today. And please, they're here for you, so use the opportunity to talk with them and ask them any questions you have. We have honored our 90-year-old guests, so we will continue with the program. It's my pleasure to present to you the chairperson of the Clinton County Legislature, Celine Paquette.
Thank you, Frank. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my colleagues in the Clinton County Legislature, it is an honor for me to be here today to welcome all of you to the 7th Annual Senior Celebration. Your Clinton County government is proud of you. More than $1.2 million is allocated in our year 2000 county budget to the Office for the Aging to operate important programs which benefit you. In addition, our health department provides skilled nursing home health care to more than 1,400 seniors and home health aides for over 400 individuals. These important services allow many persons the opportunity to remain in their homes and not to have to live in a nursing home. Our real property office tells us that there are 1,284 senior citizens that receive tax exemptions from school and land taxes. Also, 4,007 senior star and age exemptions were processed this year, exempting almost $229 million in assessed value. While these numbers are impressive, we still have a lot of work to do, and there are many other areas where we have to lobby our government and higher levels of government. And we have one of these gentlemen here today for assistance in reducing our drug costs to seniors. Your county legislature is dedicated to assisting you to achieve better home care, lower taxes, employment opportunities, and assistance with medical expenses. We are proud to be able to offer you so many valuable programs that are so widely used by you. It's a pleasure to have been invited here today to be part of this annual celebration. At our last county meeting, we passed a proclamation proclaiming May as the Older Americans Month. And our theme this year is In the New Century, the Future is Aging. And I'm very pleased to present this to Kay Felty, the Director of the Office for the Aging. Our best wishes to you for continued health and happiness, and our sincere thanks for all the contributions you have made and continue to make to Clinton County. And I hope to see you all here next year. Have a good day.
Just this morning, it was my pleasure to personally greet the mayor of the city of Plattsburgh. It's a distinct pleasure and an honor to introduce him now. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of the city of Plattsburgh is honored Daniel Stewart.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. On behalf of Councilor Harold Hicks, Jack Stewart, William Berman, Joseph Lombardoni, Christine Rotella, and Terry Gordon, I represent them here today and thank you for the invitation. Also, I'm going to read a letter first, which will be from Assemblyman Christopher Otloff, who was unable to be here today. He is still in Albany, so I'll read his letter first. Dear friends, until yesterday I was looking forward to being with you this morning. This annual celebration is one of the true pleasures that comes along with serving you in the State Assembly. Today, however, duty calls. This morning I am with Senator Stafford in the state capitol as the Senate passes final budget bills and our Assembly staff completes a job of notifying hundreds of constituents who called and wrote about budgetary concerns over the past 4 months. The bad news is I can't share the fun with you in Plattsburgh. The good news is we have a budget and it is good for seniors. This morning we voted to expand the EPIC program, cutting fees and co-pays, raising the income eligibility levels and limits, and making it possible for double of the number of seniors to enroll in the program and save money on prescription drugs. We also restored more than $6 million to senior service programs like SNAP, CSE, CSI, EISEP, Alzheimer's research, and elder abuse prevention. My district office is at the Crete Center today with new up-to-the-minute information on these important advances in our new state budget. Please pick up the special budget bulletins at our table in the lobby. Accept my sincere regrets that I cannot be with you in person, and my pleasure in being able to report to you that we have done the job you have asked us to do when you sent us to Albany. Enjoy the day and thank you. Sincerely, Chris Ortloff, Member of Assembly. Now on behalf of the City of Plattsburgh, again, it is a pleasure to be here today. I've been able to attend a couple of events with seniors since taking office the 1st of January. It is indeed an honor to have the support that I received out of the senior community during my election. And I'd like to briefly bring you up to date on some of the things we're doing in the City of Plattsburgh. We recently signed an agreement with the federal government to take over lakefront property on Plattsburgh Air Force Base. We have a $900,000 project moving forward to put in a walking trail and bicycle trail for use by all of our citizens.
Our police department in the city of Plattsburgh has been restructured, and 5 new officers have been hired in the last 3 months so that we have safe streets to walk on, so that seniors have safe streets in the downtown area and they can feel comfortable going downtown compared to how it was just a few years ago. We have walking foot patrols again. The cops are out of the cars. We have bicycle patrols, and soon we'll have a waterfront patrol in the police department, considering the fact we now have miles of lakefront property and city control from the south end of the base to the Crete Civic Center. As we sit in this building, it's a building with a future in the balance and what is going to happen to it. This year I appointed a recreation committee for the city of Plattsburgh that is examining recreation from youth to seniors to find out what this building can be used for and how we can make it more of a community center if it is to remain in the city inventory. We lose tens of thousands of dollars a year here. However, if we can capitalize on making it a community center it was meant to be by the Crete brothers, maybe then it would be worth keeping. Things are great in the city of Plattsburgh right now. With the help of Governor Pataki, our fund balance is even healthier than ever. He recently authorized $500,000 to the city in addition to our regular revenue sharing. This will help to keep taxes low for those of you who own homes in the city of Plattsburgh. That $500,000 grant equates to 17.5% on the tax levy. This again is good news coming from the governor. So we look forward to serving you over the next 2 years. It is a pleasure to be here, and again on behalf of the Common Council, thank you for the invitation, and I hope you have a great day.
Our next speaker is special to me for an unusual reason. Not only is he special to you, I'm aware, because of his work, but because he is the person who gave my daughter Jacqueline her first job here in Plattsburgh. I'll always remember that. And of course, I'll always remember him for his many contributions to our area and to his dedication. I proudly introduce to you Supervisor Town of Plattsburgh and Chairman Clinton County Supervisors Association, Andy Abdallah.
Thank you, Frank. Just so everybody's not wondering forever what Jackie was doing when her first job, I have an architectural engineering firm, and at that time Jackie was a budding architectural student, and she was doing drafting in the firm, and she did a great job, and she's gone on to be an architect in Texas, and as Frank says, she's enjoying herself. So thank you, Frank. Thank you for the invitation to be here today. I want to congratulate the Clinton County Office for the Aging and the Senior Citizens Council for this 7th annual senior celebration. Anytime you can do something 7 years in a row and make it better each time, you're doing something right. Also, on behalf of the town board and the Clinton County Supervisors Association, I want to congratulate all of you for being here today. This is your day, and I hope you enjoy every bit of it. The title of this day, Hazy, Lazy, Crazy Days of Summer. Spring has been slow this year, and I hope this is truly the first day of a long and warm summer this year. Again, congratulations, and I hope all of you enjoy this day.
Because, as you have surmised, our State Senator Ronald Stafford could not be with us, and he has been on many occasions representing his office and speaking in his behalf, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tom Cronin.
Good morning. On behalf of your Senator, Ron Stafford, I bring his regrets that he is unable to be with you today. And as most of us all know from reading the paper, he is in Albany and finishing up the budget, and they hope to get the final details done and be out of there which even though it is late, much earlier than last year. As already been mentioned, the EPIC program has been greatly updated. New guidelines, new formulas are in place, and that will affect many, many more seniors and new seniors that will fall under these guidelines. I think you people will realize that the new budget will turn out to be very senior citizen friendly. Although the final numbers are not in there, some of those were touched on in Assemblyman Ortloff's letter. And there will be more to come. The senator wanted to be here, but due to commitments that he has to be at, he was unable to come up. Looking around the room, I must congratulate the committee that put together this wonderful program that brings so much knowledge and interest to senior citizens. Starting with the closure of the air base, no matter what took place, all we heard about was quality of life, how wonderful it is to live in the North Country. And when one looks at the North Country, it is you people out there that laid all this groundwork to what we have now and to where we are going. We congratulate you, we salute you, and we wish you a most pleasant day. Thank you.
Good words, Tom. It's a good reminder to us all that what has been is past and the future is still lively, bright, and to be very successful. Thank you, Tom. If we were to believe elements of the media, Washington is 1,000,000 miles away from us here in Plattsburgh, from our state, New York, and from the rest of the country. Not true. And this very next speaker, who I am proud to introduce, is proof of that fact. I believe he has been here for every one of these senior celebrations, and by his presence today continues to remind us that he and others are working hard for us. Because if you remember our Constitution, we are the government. We are the government. It's great pleasure to introduce our congressional representative representing the United States 24th Congressional District, Representative John McHugh.
Thank you, Frank, very much, and thank you, each and every one. Frank is absolutely correct. This is the 7th year in a row that it has been my privilege to attend this great event. And obviously that says a lot about the growth, a lot about the effort and hard work that goes into putting this together, how much I admire the Seniors Council, the Office on the Aging, Catherine Felty, of course, and the fine ladies who joined her on the stage, all of the honored sponsors and other organizations that work so very hard, not just today, not just leading up to this weekend, but really throughout the year to make this truly terrific occasion become a reality. And I wanted to be here, of course, to add my words of admiration and appreciation to all of those that you see and have heard here represented on the stage, and of course the good folks in the front rows, when we say how much we truly appreciate the kind of effort that goes into this very, very special day. But I also wanted most of all to be here to say hello and give my best wishes to each and every one of you, because you are the ones around which this day is built. You are the ones that we come here to recognize and to honor and hopefully to serve. This is the 35th anniversary of the congressional approval of the Older Americans Act. 3.5 decades of our commitment to our senior citizens and that recognition that America is a place that always attempts to attend to those in need and most of all those who deserve. And when we talk about our older Americans, we are talking about individuals, as Tom just suggested, that have really sacrificed, have contributed, have built virtually every facility and every freedom that those of us and the rest of the country enjoy to this very day. And our responsibility to you, as your responsibility was to your parents and theirs before them, that we need to work together to ensure that the needs that attend this particular time in life are met. And I wanted to be here today, and I know I speak for Ron Stafford, I know I speak for Chris Ortloff, all of the good folks here, the legislators, the mayor of Plattsburgh, the supervisor, Andy Abdella, and others, when we commit to you our continued efforts to make good on that promise. I promised you 2 years ago that we were going to work as hard as we could to ensure that programs like Social Security and Medicare and others were continued, that in fact they were protected and expanded. And I'm proud to say to you that today in Washington, we have enacted for the first time budgets that are balanced and do not raid the Social Security Trust Fund to support spending by politicians in other areas. And we're going to continue that effort to ensure that Social Security remains the vital initiative it has always been, that it serves you, will serve your children, and their children beyond that, because that is America's duty, and that is a program that you have earned. Similarly in Medicare, we're taking steps to not just preserve it, but to make it better. And Celine mentioned drug programs, and I want to make another promise this year. We have set aside in the House of Representatives $40 billion for the first time to provide a drug benefit program under Medicare. That's only the first step, but it is a vital first step. And I want to promise you that we're going to correct the wrongs that exist in this country, that when those with the least flexibility and income have to pay more for drugs, that is wrong. When people in Canada enjoy the benefits of American taxpayers supporting drug research programs, and as such pay less for their drugs than American citizens do, that is wrong. When senior citizens today pay 40, 50, 60% more than working class families with insurance coverage or with what are known as individual payers, that is wrong. And I promise you we're going to fix that. We're going to work with Albany, as they are right now, trying to expand their EPIC program, their seniors prescription program, to make sure that when a person's life is dependent upon medication, they don't have to choose between heating their house and buying their pills, because that is wrong. So thank you for the opportunity and letting me work with you. God bless you all, and enjoy the day.
To paraphrase a well-known insurance company's slogan, we are in good hands with you, John. And for some closing remarks, which will officially close our opening ceremony. There's a joke in there somewhere, I suppose. It is my pleasure again to present Catherine Felty.
Just a word. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Thank you again for being a part of this event, And thanks to all of our participants. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
First, for the first time appearing at our senior celebration, under the direction of Susan Caron, we present proudly the Beekmantown Central High School Chorus.
Shabbat We have sister soloists, actually. We have Kim Gagno and Terry Gagno over here.
Don't let your life pass you by. weep not for the memories. Remember the good times that we had. Let them slip away from us when things got bad. Clearly I first saw you smiling in the sun. Wanna feel your warmth upon me. I wanna be the one. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how I feel so much, but I cannot say a word. We are screaming inside, oh, you can be heard. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. Leading to a past that doesn't let me choose. Once there was a darkness, demon in this night. Gave me everything you had, oh, you gave me life. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Not for the memories. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. Weep not for the memories.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another first for the senior celebration. This group is appearing for your pleasure for the very first time, and it is a special honor for me to introduce them because the young lady directing them has the same last name as mine. No, it's not my sister. Presenting to you now, under the direction of Diane Tortorelli, the Champlain Valley Chorus.
There's no business I'd show
us to be a part of your senior celebration. As Frank told you, this is a first for us. And we know that senior citizens love barbershop music, right? Right. And we're hoping that you will sing along with us on some of our songs. And we're also praying that out there somewhere there are ladies who love to sing and that they'd like to join with us. We meet every Wednesday night at the Clinton County Fairgrounds at 7 o'clock to rehearse, and we're always looking for new members. So please keep us in mind, and now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's go to the hot home, lady. Let's go to the hot home.
Thank you. And
are being offered to you because the chorus will be competing next weekend in Springfield, Massachusetts, along with 25 other choruses featuring Region 1. Region 1 will be holding its annual chorus contest. We're going to give you the flavor of the contest scene and ask you to please be part of it. I will make a special announcement which will be very similar to the announcement the Master of Ceremonies will be making at the contest. And your applause is important. Crowd reaction is very important. So please applaud when they are introduced, and please show them your applause as they finish each of their 2 songs. Each chorus will be competing, singing 2 songs. So if you don't mind, we will recreate the atmosphere in the amphitheater in Springfield, Massachusetts. We're ready for our next contestant. Could we have the doors closed, please? Contestant number 12, from Plattsburgh, New York, under the direction of Diane Tortorelli, the Champlain Valley Chorus.
It's so good at home when the shadows fall and there's no one you can call your own. I'm all alone, nobody wants a show they can't forget, and we'll hit the top tonight. Remember in the movies they laughed at Charlie Chaplin, they loved the crazy Keystone Cops. If we're gonna get the kind of laughs the good old timers got, we gotta pull up all the stops. So put on that razzle dazzle now, we'll show them that we're alright. Give them a show they can't forget, and we'll hit the top tonight. Put on that razzle dazzle now. We'll show them that we're alright. Give them a show they can't forget, and we'll hit the top. No one can stop us, heavens above. They're gonna love us. Sing one more chorus, how they'll adore us. We'll hit the top tonight, tonight.
So, recycled teenagers.
I got chills, they're more good old days. These are the good old days.
Dans un coin de Sassy, j'ai rencontré le vieux Becky. Il est très fatigué par les filles de là-bas. Dans sa grotte magie, il n'y a plus de voleurs. Les 40 patas prêtes à vous donner du bonheur. Sur l'heure je suis parti au pays du sexe faible. Et depuis devant la grotte, je chante à haute voix. Sésame, 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 ouvre-toi. Je suis le meilleur ami d'Ali Papa. Sésame, 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 ouvre-toi. Je sais que les 40 voleurs ne sont plus là. Sésame, 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 ouvre-toi. Ali m'a dit que la grotte était bourrée de nana. Il danse la bibi, le reggae et la salsa. Par pitié, Sésame, ouvre-toi. La grotte s'est ouverte, je leur ai tendu les bras. Ali Baba. Une horde sauvage s'est précipitée sur moi. Ali Baba. Et depuis jour et nuit, elles sont tendues à mon cou. Ali Baba. Oui, mon cœur va lâcher, je vais finir à genoux. Ali Baba. Je voudrais m'évader du pays du sexe faible. Je n'ai plus qu'une envie, c'est de rentrer chez moi. Sésame, 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 ferme-toi. Je suis le meilleur ami d'Ali Baba. Sésame, 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 ferme-toi. Je suis KO debout, mon cœur ne tiendra pas. Sésame, 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 ferme-toi. J'ai perdu 10 kilos à cause des fatwas. Jouer les sex symboles, moi j'en ai ras le bol. Par pitié, Sésame, And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really bag you, my lord. To me, flirting is just like a sport. And you can't lie, it's all good. Let me jump in, me singing the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita, all I need, a little bit of Tina, what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. Jump up and down and move it all around. Shake your hand to the sound, put your hands on the ground. Take one step left and one step right. One to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you doing it. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita, all I need, a little bit of Tina, what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. I do all do more than love and a girl like you. You can't run, you can't hide. You and me gonna touch the sky. Mambo number 5. Days of summer, those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Dust off the sun and moon and sing a song of cheer. Just fill your basket full of sandwiches and wieners. Then lock the house up, now you're set. And on the beach you'll see the girls in their bikinis, as cute as ever, but they never get them wet. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You wish that summer could always be here. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Dust off the sun and moon and sing a song of cheer. Don't have to tell a girl and fella about a drive-in or some romantic movie scene. Why, from the moment that those lovers start arriving, you'll see more kissing in the cars than on the screen. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy summer